So, it is about those days, the story of a man who was sick, desperate, and honestly ready to give up on himself. Before he became known as Dr. Sebi, he was just Alfredo Bowman, a young man from Honduras suffering from not one, not two, but 17 different diseases before he even reached 30. He was overweight, tired, asthmatic, diabetic, and struggling with impotence. His body was failing him and his spirit was fading. He had gone from one doctor to another, hoping for relief. But every visit ended the same way, with another pill, another promise, and, well, no real healing. His body kept getting weaker and his hope slowly disappeared. But what happened next would change not only his life, but the way thousands around the world understood health and healing forever. Dr. Sebi often said, "I was my first patient." That simple truth was the beginning of everything. He grew up in a small Honduran village surrounded by rivers, trees, and fresh air. His grandmother, like many elders in the Caribbean, used herbs for every illness. When a child had a fever, she boiled guava leaves. When someone had stomach pain, she gave them dandelion tea. Nature was the medicine cabinet of her world. But like most people who moved into cities and adopted modern habits, young Alfredo forgot those lessons. He began eating processed foods, drinking sugary drinks, and living under constant stress. By his 20s, his body had begun to crumble under the weight of modern life. At first, he thought it was just bad luck. He blamed genetics. He even thought maybe God had forgotten him. But the truth was simpler. His body was overloaded with toxins. He later said, "It wasn't disease killing me. It was what I was feeding myself." For years, he depended on medicines that only covered up symptoms. The pills gave temporary relief, but the illnesses stayed. He had asthma attacks at night, constant fatigue during the day, and pain in his joints. He couldn't breathe properly. He couldn't sleep peacefully. Life was becoming a slow death. Then one day, while in Mexico City, he met a herbalist named Alfredo Cortez. Cortez looked at him carefully and asked, "Why are you sick?" Dr. Sebi replied, "Because I have asthma, diabetes, and many other problems." Cortez smiled and said, "No, you are sick because you are full of waste. You are not diseased, you are toxic." Those words hit him harder than any medicine ever could. He had never heard healing explained that way. Cortez told him that the body doesn't get sick by accident. It gets sick because we poison it. Through food, through stress, and through ignoring nature. "Clean your body," Cortez said, "and your body will clean you." That day became the turning point of his life. Dr. Sebi went home and started a fast. For days he ate nothing but fruits and drank herbal teas. The first few days were terrible. He felt weak, dizzy, and hungry, but something told him to keep going. He began to feel changes. His breath improved, his skin cleared, his energy rose. His body was finally releasing what it had been holding for years: mucus, acid, and toxins. He described those days as both painful and liberating. "My body was fighting back," he said, "but it was fighting for me this time, not against me." He studied herbs, fasting, and natural diets deeply. He noticed that the foods humans called normal, meat, milk, sugar, and flour, were the very things making people sick. They created mucus in the organs and stopped oxygen from flowing properly. Once mucus builds up, disease follows. He began testing this theory on himself. He removed all animal products, processed foods, and chemical ingredients. He replaced them with fresh fruits, wild herbs, and natural spring water. He followed what would later be called the alkaline lifestyle. After a few weeks, the results were undeniable. His asthma vanished, his diabetes stabilized, his energy returned. The impotence that had embarrassed him for years disappeared. The 17 diseases that had once made him weak were gone. He had healed himself completely, not with pills, but with discipline, herbs, and belief in nature. I was not cured by man, he said. I was cured by the plants of the earth. His transformation shocked everyone who knew him. Friends who had seen him sick couldn't believe what they were witnessing. People began to ask him how he did it. He didn't hide his method. He said, "Stop eating death and your body will live again." He taught that the human body is electric. It runs on minerals and energy, not on chemicals and fat. If you feed the body living food, the cells vibrate with life. If you feed it dead food, the cells lose their charge and decay. He began helping others, starting with friends and neighbors. A man came with joint pain so bad he couldn't walk properly. After a few weeks of herbal detox and an alkaline diet, he could walk again. A woman with skin issues cleared her complexion using his herbal tonics. Someone with chronic fatigue began feeling young again. Word spread quickly. People started calling him a healer, but he refused that title. He said, "I am not the healer. The healer is the body. I only remove what blocks it." As Dr. Sebi's confidence grew, so did his understanding of human biology. He realized that all diseases, no matter their name, begin with cellular damage caused by acidity and mucus. The body naturally wants to heal, but when the bloodstream is full of toxins, oxygen can't reach the cells. His solution was to cleanse the system completely. He developed herbal formulas to clean the liver, kidneys, colon, and blood. His most famous combination included sea moss, sarsaparilla, burdock root, and dandelion. These herbs work like gentle scrubbers for the blood. He also introduced the concept of electric foods, foods that come directly from nature, unmodified by man. Wild plants like amaranth, kale, watercress, avocados, and berries became the foundation of his diet. He believed that the more natural and raw your food, the more life it carries. He said, "Nature never made a hybrid fruit, man did. And man's creation always brings confusion to the body." Within a few years, Dr. Sebi went from being a hopeless patient to a vibrant teacher. He traveled, speaking to people about the truth he discovered. He didn't use big scientific words or complex theories. He used stories, humor, and simple logic. "If a gorilla can build muscle from leaves," he joked, "why can't you?" His message was clear: stop eating what destroys you, and your body will do the rest. His story touched the hearts of many, especially older adults who had lived decades on medication. They found hope in his journey. He showed that it wasn't too late to change, that even if you've been sick for years, the body still has the blueprint for healing. It only needs to be reminded through nature's touch. Dr. Sebi never sought fame. He lived simply, barefoot most of the time, surrounded by herbs and sunlight. He loved laughter and believed happiness was part of healing. He once said, "No one heals in sadness. Laughter opens the heart, and the heart feeds every cell." His personal recovery wasn't just physical, it was emotional and spiritual. Through his healing, he found purpose. The 17 diseases he once suffered became his greatest teachers. They taught him patience, humility, and the power of nature's design. He began documenting his herbal discoveries, creating formulas for blood purification, energy balance, and digestive health. These would later become the foundation of his healing center, Usha Village, a place where thousands would come to experience the same renewal he once did. But even before the fame and recognition, Dr. Sebi's story stood as proof that healing is not reserved for the young or the lucky. It's available to anyone who is willing to listen to their body. He used to say, disease is not natural, health is, and his life became living evidence of that belief. By age 35, the man who had once struggled to breathe was walking for miles barefoot. The man who had once depended on medicine was now teaching others how to live without it. The man who had once been full of illness was now full of life. His energy was magnetic, his skin radiant, his eyes sharp. He spoke of healing not as a mystery, but as a simple law of nature: cleanse, nourish, rest, and trust. Dr. Sebi's story is not about miracles. It's about reconnection to the earth, to simplicity, to faith in the body's own wisdom. He often reminded his listeners, the human body is the highest form of intelligence. It can heal anything if you stop hurting it. Those words continue to inspire people today, especially seniors searching for natural ways to stay strong, vibrant, and independent. And it all began with one decision: a young man, sick and hopeless, choosing to trust the plants over the pills. That choice rebuilt his life. That choice made him Dr. Sebi, and that choice continues to heal thousands of people around the world who now believe what he proved long ago. The body doesn't need to be fixed. It only needs to be freed. So, the story of Dr. Sebi's healing is more than just history. It's honestly a guide for anyone who's tired of living in pain. He showed us that your body isn't your enemy. Actually, it's your greatest ally. When he began cleansing his system, he discovered that really every illness has one cause, toxicity, and one solution, purification. His method was simple: remove what harms and add what heals. That's exactly how he rebuilt his body from weakness to strength. Dr. Sebi believed that mucus was the root of disease. When the body becomes acidic from unhealthy food, the organs react by producing mucus to protect themselves. Over time, this mucus builds up, blocking oxygen and nutrients. The lungs fill with it and cause asthma. The joints fill with it and cause arthritis. The brain fills with it and causes confusion. But when you clear the mucus, oxygen returns and life flows again. That was really the foundation of his healing journey. He started by drinking only water and herbal teas. He avoided anything man-made: no sugar, no milk, no processed food. Instead, he focused on what the earth made: fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. He called these electric foods because they carried natural energy. The human body, he said, is also electric. Therefore, it must be fed with electric food to stay alive. He created his first herbal formula using sarsaparilla, burdock root, elderberry, and sea moss. These plants worked together to clean the blood and restore the body's mineral balance. He said the body cannot function without minerals, just as a house cannot stand without bricks. Sea moss became one of his most important discoveries. It contained 92 of the 102 minerals that the body needs. The rest could be found in simple herbs and vegetables. By combining them, he gave his body every element it required to rebuild. As he continued his journey, he noticed something deeper. The more he cleansed his body, the calmer his mind became. His emotions, once full of frustration and fear, started to quiet down. he realized healing was not just physical. The mind too must detox. Negative emotions like anger and guilt act like toxins. They raise stress hormones that weaken the heart and nerves. When he learned to forgive himself, laugh more, and breathe deeply, his health improved even faster. Dr. Sebi often said, "You can't heal the body if the mind is sick." He taught that peace and happiness are not luxuries. They are essential vitamins for the soul. Every morning, he would walk barefoot through the grass to absorb the earth's energy. He believed connecting with the ground restored the body's balance. Science later called this process grounding, and it's now proven to reduce stress and inflammation. People began to follow his example. They saw that his healing came not from money or magic, but from returning to nature's rhythm. He told them to eat foods that grow in the sun, drink water that flows freely, and live in harmony with the seasons. He explained that nature gives us everything we need if we respect it. The leaves clean our blood, the fruits rebuild our organs, and the herbs guide the body back to balance. His teachings were especially powerful for seniors. He reminded them that age is not a disease, toxicity is. The older you get, he said, the more you must cleanse. He encouraged older people to fast gently, drink more water, and move slowly but daily. The result was astonishing. Many found renewed strength, better sleep, and clearer thinking. By healing himself, Dr. Sebi healed others. He proved that health doesn't come from fighting disease, but from nurturing life. His story became a light for those who had lost hope, showing that the path back to health is always open. You just have to walk it barefoot, step by step, as he once did. Dr. Sebi's life became a symbol of self-transformation. He showed that even when the body is full of sickness, it can rise again if given the chance. The 17 diseases that once ruled him disappeared because he trusted the simplicity of nature. And that same simplicity can transform your life too. If you're tired of pain, fatigue, or endless pills, just remember his example. Healing begins the moment you stop feeding the body what hurts it. He used to say, if it didn't grow from the earth, don't put it in your mouth. It's a simple rule, but honestly, it can change everything. Eat foods that grow under sunlight. Fruits, leafy greens, grains, seeds. Avoid foods that come from factories, fried, frozen, or full of chemicals. Your body was made by nature, so only nature can truly heal it. Start your day the Sebi way. Drink water with lime instead of coffee. Replace processed breakfast with fresh fruit. Try herbal teas instead of sugary drinks. Add sea moss or dandelion tea to your daily routine. These small changes awaken your cells. In just a few weeks, you'll notice the difference. Your energy will rise, your digestion will smooth out, and your mind will feel lighter. But Dr. Sebi also reminded people that true healing takes time. He said, you took years to get sick. Give your body time to recover. Patience is part of the cure. Healing is not a race, it's a reunion between you and your body. Even in his final years, Dr. Sebi's energy was, honestly, just boundless. He could walk long distances, laugh loudly, and work tirelessly. People who met him said he radiated youth. The man who once fought to breathe was now teaching others to live fully. That is the power of trust in nature. So, if you are watching this and wondering where to start, start small. Begin with just one good habit. Drink more water, eat more greens, sleep early, and move daily. Your body will respond. Healing is not a miracle. It is the natural state of balance. Dr. Sebi proved that you don't have to live with disease. You can live with vitality at any age. The human body is not fragile, it's resilient. All it needs is care, respect, and nourishment from the earth. Let his story remind you, your body remembers how to heal. It's just waiting for you to listen.